Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This briefing is hosted by Nigerian teachers. Nigerian teachers community is a community of teachers, of educators, of educational researchers who come from Nigeria, but many of us are also people who are educational researchers, teachers, and educators in diverse countries. We have members in virtually every country on the face of it, but the bulk of the people who populate the community come from Nigeria, because we set it up in Nigeria, but somehow we have become a model which other teachers communities are copying from around the world. Last year, we won the Facebook Community Accelerator Award. It's a global award made available annually to Facebook communities that do awesome work in terms of helping their members, the knowledge, the skills, and the opportunities they need to be able to excel with gifts and do well in the callings that they have. Our community benefited from the award, and it has given us the opportunity to learn quite a lot, because we have worked with Facebook for about 1 year, going through development programs and traveling around the world. I just returned from Finland, the UK recently. I was in France, and in these places, especially in Finland and in the UK, I had the opportunity to interact with my colleagues who run the classrooms in those countries and who also train teachers in places like University of Helsinki, which is one of the foremost universities in the Scandinavian region. Finland at the moment runs the best education, and UK is also known for high quality of their higher education. Universities in the UK rank among the best in the world. And what we want to do this night, this evening, so to speak, is to help you to understand how you can take advantage of the opportunity that the United Kingdom government is about to provide to teachers who work in about 9 countries around the world, including Nigeria. I am Dr. I have stayed in the United Kingdom. I was at the Institute of International Development and Applied Economics. I studied communication for innovation and development there, and then moved on to do my PhD in the same university at the Institute of Migrating, and that gave me a very opportunity to move around the world. I was in Sweden. I was in Austria at the Austria's Center for Innovation in Education. I was at the University of Cambridge. I was at Johannes Kepler University in Austria. I was in Gothenburg. I was in several other places around the world, and all these opportunities have acquired the knowledge and skills that I'm deploying to lead about 500,000 teachers who are members of Nigerian teachers community at the moment. And we're in partnership with a good number of around the world, including universities in the UK and in Finland. And what we're trying to do is to help members of our community to acquire the ideas, skills, and knowledge they need to be able to run classrooms that empower children. If you're a teacher in Nigeria, you would know that what we're doing over focuses on lesson note. The world is no longer worrying so much lesson note and lesson plan. It's not as if you shouldn't plan your lessons, you should, but the way we do it in Nigeria is no longer how it is done. This is where children are empowered, skills they need to be able to become inventors and make a difference that God has given them the ability, the gifts to make. Here we are very autocratic in our teaching methodology. The pedagogy we employ is pedagogy that is too heavy on what the teacher wants and what the government wants. So we are teaching only what we think the children need to learn and not what the children are interested in learning. And much emphasis on what the government is imposing on teachers and schools in terms of how teaching should be done and what it is that to teach. In Finland, that everybody loves to talk about, there's teacher autonomy, emphasis on what the children want to learn in a modern society. And so if you are teaching 25 children in the class, it's your responsibility to try and find out what each child is interested in learning and structure your learning in a way that caters for the need of every child in the classroom. That is the level at which we want to take our members to. And that is already getting traction. Conversations are going on our platform on a 24/7 basis. And we're happy that our people are to learn to see the children they work for as resources in the teaching process and not just seeing them as bank accounts where you just come and deposit, in this case, deposit knowledge. The children also have ideas they can share with you, but that is not the attitude of the average Nigerian teacher. And now that we are talking about migrating to the UK, it becomes very critical that if you are not a member of Nigerian teachers, the time for you to join that platform has come, so that you can begin to go through reorientation to understand when you eventually succeed in getting to the UK, the way you teach in Nigeria is not the way you are going to be expected to teach. You have to teach in a way that puts the child at the center of everything you think about and everything you do. And sometimes I see posts on the internet that give the impression that it's a very difficult job to do if you want to be a teacher in the United Kingdom. Yes, indeed, it might be challenging because most teachers in Nigeria are used to running the show without giving children the opportunity to be a part of the process. When you go to teach in the United Kingdom and in other places around the world where people know what education truly means, you're no longer going to just be a show. The children must be accommodated, and you must reorientate yourself to recognize that the idea you can use flogging, harassing, and detention to get children to learn is an holistic approach to doing the job of a teacher. The times have a lot of teachers in the UK who are respected, applauded, recognized, rewarded, and celebrated because of the way the children they work for are happy with them. So it's just one note circulating on the internet to judge the UK system. I trained there, and many Nigerians are also in that system. And the essence of the conference we are going to have on the 27th this January is to give you the opportunity to hear from the relevant agencies and institutions in the United Kingdom who are going to be at the center of making it possible for teachers to migrate to the United Kingdom and be to work and earn good. As you know, certainly Nigerian teachers are not paid well. What you are getting is not commensurate with the kind of effort you are making. The kind of level that the teachers put into their work here is far above what they take away in terms of remuneration and conditions of service, and can change if you take advantage of the opportunities we are bringing your way between now and the next few months, when we'll be working with relevant institutions in the UK area to equip you with the knowledge, skills, and values, and internationally be able to migrate to earn better. As at today, for anybody who succeeds through this system about promoting, it will be about 28,000. As a matter of fact, if you get lucky and you work in anywhere in London and East suburbs, it means your task probably will engine, and they will recognize that and probably start you on a salary of as much as up to £34,000. And of course, £34,000, if you translate it into Naira and using the black market platform, which is very possible for everybody now, you'll be talking about a minimum of 35 million. The average Nigerian teacher doesn't earn that in time, but that is the kind of money you can earn in only 1 year. Because that is in addition to the fact that you are going to be given opportunity to also learn while you teach and earn money. And if you have the opportunity to get into the UK environment as a teacher, you'll be doing a full-time job, and you can choose to also enroll in one of their universities, do a part-time program. If you don't have a degree, you can get a master's degree, and probably thereafter enroll for a PhD. And so you'll be learning, earning money, growing and developing and taking care of your family. If you're able to move them to the UK, that's fine. You'll be together there. Your children will have access to good quality education. If you choose to leave them in Nigeria for reasons best known to you, if that is what suits your convenience, you will be able to find enough money to be able to send back home, which can keep them in good schools, including universities in Nigeria, if that's what you choose. But one of the advantages you have working in the UK, the fact that you'll be working in a sophisticated economy, and you will have the opportunity to work with teachers who are colleagues who would think better than what you find here. The level of intensing competition in Nigeria is that is not what you want. Where if you are doing well, your colleagues envy you. In the UK, that's not what you'll find. Your colleagues would like to learn from you, and you will be happy to learn from them. So there's more collaboration in the advanced societies compared to what you find here, where, especially in the private sector, where one teacher becomes a guy's boy, or guy's girl, and who goes to do tatafo, as they would say, in places like Lagos and other western parts of the country, and at the expense of the colleagues of individual who is indulging in that kind of attitude. So teaching in the UK takes you away from such a toxic environment and gives you leave all the challenges that people are going through in Nigeria, including the worry about being kidnapped, about other security challenges, and of course about pervasive poverty, which you see everywhere. So this evening's briefing is meant to call your attention to these possibilities and let you be on standby to start making the effort to migrate by the relevant authorities in the United Kingdom in February. But we need to make the point that Nigerian teacher is obviously not well informed, and the understanding most people have, that portal is open. Everybody who has a teacher's registration certificate in Nigeria automatically, gets a ticket to be able to. That is not the truth. But the UK government will be happy to allow you to compete for opportunities that are available if you have the teacher's registration certificate, which the TRCN in Nigeria awards. So I encourage you, by all means, can afford it, enroll with Teacher Registration Council of Nigeria, and do their certification exam and put it in your pocket if you don't already have it. If you have it already, that's fine. But that is one of the many conditions you need to meet to be able to migrate to the UK. And those other conditions will have at the center of them the competencies are required for you to be a teacher in the United Kingdom. Merely having TR certificates prove that you're a competent teacher. So schools in the UK who are interested in hiring you, who want you to attend interviews online using Zoom and maybe Skype and any other platform they choose to use to test you and give you opportunity to demonstrate your ability to run in classroom. So only those who meet those conditions, who are able to prove that they can deliver in the classroom, the ones who will eventually get hired. But the UK system is unlike Nigerian system where you attend the interview today and tomorrow you start working. They also have to do check and be sure that if they bring you into the classroom, you are not going to become somebody who will harass children who are put under your care. And so they will do security check. They would like to find out if you have criminal records. So it's their responsibility to try and stay away from everything that has to do with police, everything that has to do with you quarreling with your neighbors and ending up in court and having cases here and there. They will scrutinize you because they don't want people with criminal tendencies to get into UK schools because they take the life of children very seriously. And that's why it's a very important job. Just like in Finland, you need about a master's degree to be able to get into a primary to teach. In the UK, there are also very critical needs. And so if you do have the competencies and you have the registration certificate from Nigeria, you may be considered. The how the works and has worked so far is that most Nigerian teachers haven't got the competencies to sophisticated economy, because the pedagogical approach we have been brought up in is the one that puts teachers and government teaching process, rather than the children who are the reasons why we're in classrooms. So if you are smart, that right to is to face this reality and recognize that UK schools will not give you the chance to come into their schools if you haven't proven that you can run modern classrooms. The way to prepare you for that is to do what the average person waiting for the portal to open will not do, is to train yourself, acquire the skills that you need to run a modern classroom. And the way that you structure it is so there are a few in this country, about 6 or 7 of them, who have been accredited to train teachers in the countries where they are currently resident. So you don't have to travel out of Nigeria to become a teacher in the UK with a UK credential. So there are universities in the UK that are already accredited to do that. So you can stay in Nigeria and study with universities and get their international, become internationally qualified teacher. Otherwise, you have what they call international qualified teacher status. So for you to get that, you stay in your country and enroll with those universities that are accredited, and you get trained to become qualified to run modern classrooms in the UK environment. And that automatically makes you a qualified teacher in the UK. When you have your teacher qualification in Nigeria, well, you still have some other hurdles to cross, because you have to be examined, you have to be evaluated, you have to attend interviews, you have to be scrutinized in terms of several and teacher does not have. And as I have mentioned in some of the briefings and comments I have made on the platform we have created for people who are interested in taking advantage of this, what you need to prepare for is to acquire the capacity to speak English the way it is spoken in England, and to also write it the way it is written in the United Kingdom. And the best way to achieve that is not just and say, I have a teacher registration certificate, when you are not able to speak English the way they speak. So even when they have said it's not necessary for you to have IELTS, which stands for International Language Testing System, which is a test that proves your proficiency in English language and conducted by British Council. The idea that you don't to get in there is not an idea to believe or promote among teachers who are your friends. At the end of the day, the people who have that certification are going to be the ones considered first before those who say, I have learned everything I know in English language, right from university. So I do not think I need to write that test. But that is not how the system works over there. In theory, yes, we'll give you a compute, but in practical terms, what you will find is that the people who will test you are going to be looking for those who first and foremost have the capacity to speak English the way it is spoken in England, as some of you call it Queen's English. So the easiest way to prove it is to, if you have the capacity now, write the IELTS exam for test of English as a foreign language, which a US body conducts. And so don't wait to go and compete with the hundreds of thousands of people who all want to leave Nigeria. At the end of the day, it's not up to 1% of Nigerian teachers who want to go to the UK to go and teach will be accepted to get into that country. As a matter of fact, many Nigerians already in the UK but don't have qualified teacher status. So they are going to start with those ones who already live in the UK, and they give them opportunity to see if they can, migrate from non-qualified status to qualified status. So that way, they don't have to do the paperwork that will enable them to sponsor you to come into the United Kingdom. Because if they employ you from Nigeria, the employer has to process sponsorship papers before you cannot take those papers the British High Commission to apply for visa. So the process is not as simple as every person is looking at it. And what we want to do in this process to help you as a member of the Nigerian teachers community is to meet the people who are processing this in the UK and who are helping teachers to acquire the certifications they need to be able to easily transit from Nigeria to the United Kingdom and earn the kind of money they want to earn, so that you don't get in there and become, an errand boy, for the teachers in the UK. And so that conference we hold on January 27 is going to be on a Friday. We'll start at 5 and end it after about 2 hours. The people who you need to hear from are the ones who are coming from the UK to participate in that conference. It's going to be a virtual conference so that you can join us from anywhere you are in the world. I will also be there to introduce the people who are going to make this happen as the leader of Nigerian teachers. If you just joined us, I'm Dr. Peter Gudro, leader of the Nigerian teachers online community. We're about 500,000 at the moment, and we are going to ensure that our members get all the information and international network they need to be able to easily access the opportunities that are coming. And the way to make sure that these opportunities come to you without you losing any information that is important for you to have to be able to do what you need to do in good time is to become a member of Nigerian teachers. So to become a premium member of Nigerian teachers, you on the WhatsApp platform. I have shared that link with you, and I think you can also find it in the chat box now. If you click on it, join there, because what we do for you is that it will save you money. When eventually we launch the conference, you won't pay what other people are going to pay to be part of that conference. And you pay probably not more than 50% of that. So joining now will give you access at a significantly reduced rate. So if you keep waiting, you will run into very serious challenges. And what we have done is to, it was supposed to have become, significantly higher in terms of amount you need to register as at, end of yesterday. But we have moved the button to tomorrow. So I have left it at the level of just a small amount of money. So all the people who are participating in this conference this evening can get in and become premium members, so that they don't have to pay as much as after tomorrow evening. So that's basics we want you to know coming on January 27. And that all welcome to participate. Bring in your friends to join the WhatsApp community, and we'll be happy to continue to chat with you. One of the things you can do to help yourself to reduce implications of the steps you want to take is to, get back to the WhatsApp platform and introduce yourself this evening. I will open that platform as from about 8 p.m. this evening, so that you can introduce yourself and confirm that you are at this conference, that this is a briefing. And I will take note of your name. When you introduce yourself, give us your name, tell us the school where you work and the city where you live, and confirm that you benefited from this briefing. I'll take special note of that, and probably in some of the things we're going to do, get special discount. So that's where we're going to end it. We don't hope to go beyond 30 minutes. But, we don't begin to run it like a Nigerian system. So on that note, we want to thank you for joining us, and any further interactions we want to have on this, well, you can join. You can follow me on Twitter, on TikTok, LinkedIn, etc. I think you will get the buttons in the chat box. Just click on them, and you'll be able to join me and ask me questions anytime you like. And of course, if you're not yet a member of Facebook, Nigerian Teachers Facebook community, you will find the link in the chat box, because that's very important. A lot is happening there for free. We have about 500,000 teachers from around the world who are teaching their fellow teachers what they should know in a modern society. And some people are okay in that community already. Ideas on how you can move forward. So that's the way it's going to go. And on that note, we want to thank you for joining us this evening. I will continue to chat with you. I will open the button on the WhatsApp platform. Then you can ask questions there, acknowledging that you were at this briefing, and probably showing gratitude for the opportunity to participate for free, which it wasn't originally meant to be. And so remember, will not continue. So the smart thing to do to ensure you don't miss any information is to become a premium member of Nigerian Teachers Community, which has about 500,000 teachers at the moment. I'll take one question, and we'll end the conversation. So I can see Locke Cars, who is ready. The IT, can you permit him to speak?
Hello.
Locke can speak now. That's fine. Only
good
him.
evening. Good evening.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Peace Daud.
Please make it snappy. We'll have just 2 minutes to end the event.
Actually, I just got the link to via a friend. This is my first conference.
Okay.
So maybe I'll need to join your social media website later and down. Get some more information about this.
That's fine.
I've got today. I'm fully interested. I love this, sir.
That's all right. So we have a WhatsApp community. If you are not there, just join the WhatsApp community. We'll continue the conversation there.
Okay, sir. Thanks, sir.
All right. Can we listen to Amandi? 1 minute and we are done.
Good evening, sir. Those of us that don't have an education certificate, we have a degree, but not a certificate. Any hope for us?
Yes, everybody. If so long as you're university degree holder, you can. They give you opportunity to train in Nigeria to become a teacher. So we are doing that. Is going to happen. So on that note, if you're a member of the WhatsApp community, that's fine. We'll continue the conversation there, and we'll hold another briefing before we get to March to January 27. On that note, thank you everyone, for joining us. As from 8 o'clock, you can introduce yourself. I will open the button for you to introduce yourself on the WhatsApp platform for the UK migration program and provide more information via that media. Thank you, and do evening. And of course, your friends are welcome to join. Any graduates, whether you're currently a teacher, can join, can aspire to go. You'll be trained here to qualify. You don't have to already be a teacher. Even non-teachers who are university graduates can train to become teachers within about a year, migrate to the UK to go and earn good money. That's possible. All right. And I'm happy to have had the opportunity to meet every one of you this evening. Thank you for joining us.